I was living a life of sin, and then the divine stepped on in, and now I feel saved. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Go Through It to Grow Through It Life Coach with Prince the Shaman. This is part 2 of me sharing my story of being inside of a abusive relationship with a narcissist and how it affected me. So basically, in the ending of our relationship, the final shoe that dropped was he got back into a relationship with his ex-girlfriend, which is the one who actually broke him to begin with. You know, during our relationship, he would tell me different things that he went through with this person and how she hurt him and just different things she did that traumatized him. And then in the end, he cheated on me and got back in a relationship with her. So it's like I had to take into account that like everything that I went through with this person was a lot. And although she came in when she did come in and it shifted the dynamic of what was happening, she ultimately set me free. You understand? Because I don't know if I would have walked away without finding out what I found out. If that did not happen, would I have left, or would I still been in that situation? I used to feel like, why am I not enough to make this person happy? But then I also had to recognize that I went almost 3 years in this relationship unhappy about every single day. So why was I not enough for me to make sure that I was happy? You know what I'm saying? I had to shift the dynamic and the perspective that I was in. And also just seeing his day-to-day actions and like lack of care. He also wasn't making himself happy. He was in a relationship with me, and evidently I wasn't making him happy, which is okay. But he stayed with me and he strung me along. So he also didn't know how to make himself happy. So if he didn't make himself happy, how could he make me happy? There were just a lot of different things that I learned from that relationship. It taught me how to have proper boundaries, not only in love, but also in regards to friendships, family. I was allowing people to just use me up, use up my finances, use up my energy for, whatever it is they needed. I allowed myself to be an available resource for them at any given take. And it taught me that, we can't pour from empty cups. And if we're not filling ourselves, we can't pour into anyone else. And if we are, we're going to be pouring from a depleted resource. And our bodies, our mentality, our mental state, our mental health, us in general will feel the toll and the effects of, pouring more out than we are giving to ourselves or that we are giving to other people. It also taught me to look at myself and see what it is I believed about myself. I was going through so much. I believed in that situation that I deserved to be cheated on, because if I didn't, I wouldn't have tolerated it. Taking care of, like, just different things that I tolerated taught me how low I actually did value myself, although I did think highly of myself, or so I thought I did. It also showed me like how codependent I was and how like I didn't believe in myself. Like I am somebody who has very big dreams, very big aspirations. I'm very knowledgeable, very intelligent. And when I got into that situation, I was codependent, and I felt like I needed this person to continue to go on. I didn't want to go out into the world like that by myself. Like I became so attached. I started to go to, my ex for advice on what jobs I should work on. Literally, I was never the type who was like, oh, let me go and work here. Like I always had big dreams, and I kind of let them go and just tried to fit myself in whatever, sorry, I'm getting confirmations, whatever reality he projected onto me. That's exactly what I went into. And it's like, when I was there, I went through a lot, and it's like I could look at it as if it was such a detrimental thing. But now that I go back, it's more or less me seeing now what it is to look out for, things I didn't recognize I needed to look out for, love bombing, abuse, just different things I'm able to spot now that I didn't know how to spot before. There's no good without evil. It's kind of the same thing here. I wouldn't know what it is that I wanted if I hadn't experienced what it is I didn't want. So now I have like a new outlook on love and the way that I want to be treated and want to be cared for. So when we were together, I did get inklings throughout this whole relationship that this ex was around, like when we first got together, she was still paying his phone bill, and he would always bring up different things that she did to him behind his back. He would bring up, just ways that she would act and things that she did that he didn't approve of. And she would, be calling the mom and the grandmother and visiting family, and she was still very present in the family, although they didn't have any children. So that was very weird to me, but I ignored all the signs. There were so many signs that I didn't put two and two together until I got set in stone. Like, oh, okay, wow, you're in a relationship with this person. Cool, you know what I'm saying? So it really did teach me to always trust my intuition, because what I was feeling about this person, it all came to be true, but I didn't know it came to be true until I trusted my intuition. So I recognized that I went through what I went through, not so I could be hurt, but so I can be this strong beacon of like, yeah, I know if I get a feeling, if I get intuition that tells me anything, to trust it. Don't wait until it is too late and I am 3 years in and so low that I'm literally clawing my way out of hell just to heal. Like, don't wait till it gets to that point, because now in this season, I have gone through this healing journey that was so hard. I didn't know how to get myself from as low as I was. Now I know how important it is to make sure that I'm dating the right people, because dating the wrong person can be so dangerous to your internal health. And I never want to have to pull myself from where things got between us. And it's kind of like the way things ended. So the way things ended, it was very sudden. I found out the information that I found out, and I kind of just stopped speaking to him. We still lived together for like a month or so after we broke up, but I didn't speak to him. I was so upset, and it's something that bothered me for a long time after I left, because I felt like I never received the closure that I deserved. But then I got to this point where I recognized that based on who this person is and has been, they never would have given me the closure that I needed. So it was really good that I started to work and actually give that closure to myself, because this person wasn't capable of giving that to me. So I had to find a way to forgive this person on my own. And through doing that, it deepened my connection with myself, and it helped me open up my spectrum for like self-love and how to really dig into going in and giving myself what I needed. Like I explained in part 1, all of our finances were merged. And when I left with literally 2 bags, things I could carry. So it was like I lost everything, but I recognized I gained everything when I left, even though I didn't see it that way to begin with. And it's like I held on to a lot of anger, hurt, pain, and betrayal for a while. And then I realized that the person that I was trying to hold on to was the one that was causing those emotions. So when I finally released, everything released. So it was definitely a beautiful process that in the midst of leaving, I did not see. With the fact that I left this relationship with him already being in another relationship also took a big blow at my, I could say ego. Beforehand, I had such a big ego, and it depleted that when I left and he was already in another relationship. Before I moved out of the house, he made sure that he spent the night out so it could be just known that this other woman was there and he had somewhere else to go. He really was manipulative in the way that he handled things. And it hurt me, but in the moment I felt like, why is this person doing this to me? But then when I look back at it from the viewpoint that I'm at now, I can look at that relationship and actually be like, that was something that I needed to leave. Because it could have been possible that if I had not seen that step and I had not seen him actually stay out, it was possible that I could have fell back into that relationship. But him staying out solidified everything. Like, this is done. And it was what I needed. And it's like where I'm at now. I'm so grateful that these terrible things happen, because without them, I would be with somebody who didn't deserve me and who couldn't treat me well. And I never would have questioned anything. And it was like once I healed, I was able to take back my power. And now I am where I am. And it's like, in the famous words of Cardi B, you know, the karma for you is going to be who you end up with, period. And that's like the best way I can put it. The way that Divine stepped in and brought justice was that the woman who he left me for ended up being the karma for betraying me. You understand? So it's like I always try to tell people, vengeance is not ours. Vengeance is the Lord's. Give it to Divine, because they'll do it the way it's supposed to be done, where people will understand things. Our job is just to forgive and move forward in the way that we need to feel, you know, move forward. And it's like I got myself into this point where I was able to pull back all of my energy, cut the cords, pull back my power. And now I'm living the life that I deserve to live. I'm building into my brand and, you know, just loving on myself the way that I never loved. And for him, I don't know what he's doing, but I'm finally happy, you know, and that's all that matters. And without things happening the way that they happen, I can't stress that enough. Where would I be right now? Probably somewhere worse off. But now I was able to regain everything that I deserved. So it was like, it was a terrible thing that I went through. But now I have boundaries. Now I have a high intuition. I have high self-worth. And just everything all around that I didn't have before that relationship. Everything, confirmation. Everything that I needed before that relationship, everything that I learned in that relationship has made me into who I am today. And that's why I'm stepping into this role of my life where now I'm going back and going out to go find the other people who need to be pulled up, because it's hard sometimes. And I know, like everybody else, how hard it can be to get yourself out of a relationship like that, how hard it can be to actually heal yourself when you've been hurt like that. Like this story goes deeper, but this is what I wanted to share in these segments, how it feels to have such a heartbreak, such an agony, and to pick yourself up from there and raise yourself high again. So I just really love that I'm able now to be in this position where I'm able to give back to those who need my help and those who just need to be able to see how to go forward, because when it gets dark, sometimes you can't see. Even if you were the light that goes in, sometimes people come in and they dim you so much that you can no longer see how to get out. So that's why it's important for us to be here for one another and to share our energy in that way and love one another. I'm so happy that you guys was able to experience this message for me, and that you can take it as encouragement and it pushes you forward, and hopefully it sows the seed of hope that things do get better and that things that happen in life don't happen for no reason. You know, everything happens for a reason, and who you come out on the other side as is going to be 10 times beautiful than the person you walked in as, the person you were while you were in it. Now you're going to be the lion you were created to be to begin with. So that's it for this message. Thank you guys for watching. Later.